Oh boy. Here we go. I really need to get better at figuring this shit out first. Okay, hold on. Gonna get some tunage going. Because I do not want to sit here in silence. Thank you. Any minute now. Why do you take so long to load Spotify? Wait, is Spotify a subsidiary of Amazon? I can't fucking remember now. I don't care. I'm not too woke to use it, to be honest. One of these days, I'm gonna like accidentally swallow my teeth. It's gonna be terrible. Oh my god, I still have wax on my finger. Ew. Oh, it feels gross. I hate that. I hate how that feels. Okay. Any music, any minute now. Come on, load. Oh god, this is so terrible. I just wanted to fucking load for me. Hello. This works. It is now loading. I have like way too many playlists on Spotify. Like this, it needs to be cut down, if I'm being honest. But I'm not gonna cut it down. I'm just not. Cool. Okay, it's working. All right. Cool. So let's talk about Daredevil because I'm losing my fucking mind. Like if you haven't seen my threads on Twitter, I think it's really only one thread. I think I've been like updating the same thread this entire time. But if you haven't been like seeing my just weirdness on Twitter recently, I have been losing my shit over Daredevil. Okay. And like it's a problem. It's like a whole ass problem. Okay, so basically, what had happened was I've been trying to watch Supernatural and get completely caught up with Supernatural because I talk about this all the time. I keep going over this story. Basically, I stopped watching Supernatural my senior year of high school, I think. Junior or senior year, I can't remember. But I stopped watching it in high school in season 7. I watched the first 3 episodes. It was definitely my senior year because I went down to Georgia with my aunt and my uncle to visit my cousins my senior year. So I watched like the first 3 episodes of season 7, and then I watched like by accident I watched the like mid-season finale, and then I just gave up. I was like, no, that's it. I'm done. I'm sick of this show. This is terrible. They keep recycling the same plot lines. I'm over it, like that kind of stuff. So I stopped watching Supernatural. And like I've been a fan of Supernatural this whole time. Like I never stopped being a fan of it. I just stopped watching the newer shit because it was shit. And so now that the show's over, I feel obligated to like watch it and like get caught up and everything and like just see it through to the end. Like I know how the show ends. I've seen the big like moment from season 15 episode 18. Like I know all about that. I know how like the series actually ends. Like I know what happens in the last episode. But other than that, I'm like missing a lot of the in between. So I just want to watch that and get that caught up with that. But the thing is that I woke up a few days ago. It was probably like 3 or 4 days ago. Like it's been not even an entire work week. I shit you not. But I woke up a few days ago to get ready for work, and I was like, you know what? I want to throw something on, but I want to throw something on that I don't have to be like invested in. That I'm not going to be like watching. Something that like I can just have playing in the background, right? So I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just throw on Daredevil, right? Like, I'm not going to get into it. Like, it's not like it's a good show or anything, like it is what it is. Lo and behold, 4 days later, all I've been watching is fucking Daredevil. All I've been talking about is fucking Daredevil. I'm like having an entire ass like meltdown over here over Daredevil. It's like a problem. Okay, so first things first, I'm the realist. That's a joke. But no, first things first, like I knew nothing about Daredevil going into this show, literally nothing. Like I knew that his suit was red. I knew that he had horns on his suit. Other than that, knew nothing about him. I have the beanie because I got this beanie in a loot crate. If you flip it, like if you invert it, it's the Punisher. And I normally wear it Punisher side out just because gray goes with everything and I like skulls. So, sue me. I don't know anything about the Punisher either. Although I do know more about the Punisher than I did about Daredevil going into it. Like, I know that the Punisher is like ex military. I think that his wife and child, I want to say son, get like brutally murdered. And like he finds the people that did that and like he avenges his like murdered family or whatever. So, like, again, more vigilante justice. Obviously, I mean, that's what a superhero is. It's a vigilante. But like, I live for that shit. So anyway, I threw on Daredevil thinking that I wasn't going to get into it, thinking that I wasn't going to enjoy it and it wasn't going to be like anything important at all. And this has happened. I've lost my fucking mind. So, spoilers, I guess, for all of Daredevil. So that's a thing. If you don't want to be, well, not all of Daredevil, just the first season, because I've only seen the first season. But spoilers for the entire first season of Daredevil. Just saying, just getting that out of the way. So, like, first thing, it opens up, like, I can't even remember how the first episode started. Like, I want to say it started out literally showing Matt as a kid losing his sight. I could be wrong about that. I can't fucking remember exactly how it started out. But yeah, so the first like half of the season, it cuts back to Matt's childhood and Matt losing his vision and like dealing with losing his vision and all this other stuff. And like that was just like a mind fuck for me because I didn't know that he was blind going into the show until like it shows him like with his walking stick and with his like sunglasses and stuff on. Like that's when I realized, holy shit, Daredevil's blind. He's been blind this whole time and nobody fucking told me. Like, what? That's so cool. Like a blind superhero. Like, what? But anyway, yeah. So Daredevil's blind, which is really cool. And there was like, oh my god, there was just so much cool shit in the show because of like him being blind. And it was really cool that his abilities kind of developed because he lost his sight. A lot of people like when they lose like a certain sense, like if they lose their hearing or if they lose their sight, their other senses like develop more acutely. So like if you lose your sight, you can hear things better or like smell things better. Or if you lose your, hearing, you can see things better or whatever, like that kind of thing. That's just like a common thing that people talk about. I don't know if that's really rooted in science or not, but I know that with like lazy eyes and stuff, apparently if you like cover your good eye, then your lazy eye should like develop more musculature or whatever. So like maybe it's that kind of concept. But anyway, I really liked in the show how they showed Matt using all these different things that blind people use. I don't know if they're all real or not. I would hope they are because they're really fucking cool. But he's got like a really cool alarm clock. And the thing that interested me the most and the thing that I really want to see happen, as ridiculous as this sounds, is like I want to see Matt cook something. Like I know that that's stupid, but like I don't like it's really interesting to think about like how blind people cook because I asked Josh about that. I was like, dude, how do blind people cook? Because like I can see and like I hate cooking because like I see the fire and it wigs me out, right? So like I can't even imagine trying to cook when you can't see. And like how would you know stuff's done? Like I mean, I guess you would like have to touch stuff to like make sure it was done or something, but like that's just a whole thing. So like I'm really interested in that. So actually I think I'm gonna look up YouTube videos of like actual blind people cooking and stuff. Just because that's really interesting to me. But yeah. Anyway, that's getting way off topic. So basically what has happened in this first season of Daredevil is a lot. A lot. Every single episode is 60 minutes long. Like, no joke, it's an hour long. Like, it's not an hour long in the way that, like, Supernatural is an hour long or anything like that. Like, no joke, every single episode is like 60 minutes long. It's like a short movie, basically. And it's just really, oh my God, there's just so much good stuff about it. Like, I can't, like, I'm gonna make a video where I actually have all my thoughts in order and they're actually like coherent because I think that that'd be more interesting to watch. But there's just so much that this show has going for it, and I'm so pissed. Okay, so one of the funny things is that I've noticed with myself that as a queer person, I want to make everybody gay. Like, all of my fictional ships, not all of them, but a lot of them are gay or like queer in some way. And I think that that's just like an extension of the fact that I'm a very queer person. So like I'm like, I just see characters and I'm like, oh my God, you're queer too, dude. Like, I I don't know, it's ridiculous. But I don't have any gay ships for this show, which is like, I'm so proud of myself for that. Like, I feel like there are things that happen in the first season, like specifically when Matt and Foggy are in school together, and there's that episode that like shows us kind of their relationship in school, like in college, and how that developed. That episode gave me a lot of like fuel to ship them with, but I'm not going to take the bait. I'm not going to take the bait. And um, they had a falling out as soon as Foggy like realized that Matt is Daredevil. And that gave me a lot of fuel to ship them with as well, but I'm still trying not to take the bait. Like, I'm trying so hard not to take the bait, right? But anyway, so I originally, originally, I wanted to ship, well, I didn't want to. I was shipping Claire and Matt, Claire being the nurse that's played by Rosario Dawson, by the way. Rosario Dawson is in season 1 of Daredevil. So if you need any reason to watch the show, like, that's your reason. That and the fact that Jessica from True Blood is in it, and also the guy from like fucking the Butterfly Effect is in it, dude. Like, the best friend, I think, from the Butterfly Effect is in this, which is crazy. And I think that's one of the reasons that I have this weird affection for Foggy, just because I loved the Butterfly Effect growing up. Like, I still love the Butterfly Effect. I haven't seen it in years at this point, but I think I still do. I own it? Hell yeah, I do. I still own a copy of the Butterfly Effect on DVD. It's on my shelf. So like, I really love the Butterfly Effect, and I think that that alone gave me this weird like affinity for the character of Foggy. And the fact that Foggy's just such a sweet little like nerd, he's such a dork and he's so sweet and adorable. And I just really love Foggy. Like, he's great. But anyway, so yeah, Foggy's really cute. And like, just personality wise, he's really cute. He's not really my type, but he's very cute. And I fucking adore Foggy. But then when he starts to have that like weird falling out with Matt over the fact that Matt's Daredevil, which is like so weird, but whatever. I mean, like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, Foggy, why the fuck would he tell you that he wears a mask and beats bad guys up? Like, why would he tell you that? Like, if I did that, why would I tell my friends that? Like, if anything, that's just gonna like, put them in danger. Like, I mean, come on, we've all seen Spider-Man, dude. You know? But anyway, so um right. I'm sorry. I just had this one clip from Game Grumps run through my head where Aaron is he's playing a game or whatever. Obviously they play games. But Aaron and Danny are talking about this thing that happened between the two of them. Like they had a text conversation, and well, they tried to, but Aaron was like dead tired or whatever, and he was texting Danny about The Social Network, and he starts talking about like Spider-Man and the Winklevoss twins and how Jesse Eisenberg fucked them over because he couldn't think of Mark Zuckerberg's name, and like that just ran through my head. So that's why I was like chuckling. Sorry about that. Again, getting off topic. But anyway, so yeah, where do I go from here? What am I doing? What am I talking about? Okay, so basically what happens is in the very beginning of the show, it just kind of shows us like how, he came to be, I guess. And like the first episode, even like you get right into the middle of shit. You know what I'm saying? So like the first episode, even we're introduced to like Fisk as a character, and they still haven't referred to him as Kingpin, but I know he's Kingpin. The only reason I know he's Kingpin is because I had to Google the dude that played Fisk, because I was like, I recognize him. He looks like the dude from Law and Order. Is this the guy from Law and Order? Because this is going to be really distracting. And it was really distracting. It's still really distracting. But yeah, it is in fact Vincent D'Onofrio playing Kingpin. And he is in fact the guy from fucking Law and Order. So there's that. I have this gift and also curse where I recognize people from different shows and different movies. I might not always know their name, but I recognize them from different things I've seen them in, and then I get distracted by it. It's a whole thing. Like the fact that Jared Padalecki is going to be like in the new like reboot or whatever of Walker, Texas Ranger, I guess, is just throwing me off. I hate it. But I guess maybe he'll finally be able to like speak in his Texas accent, which is really cool. I mean, that's awesome because I've only ever seen him not use his Texas accent. So there's that. But yeah. Anyway, so right, okay. I was talking about Vincent D'Onofrio. I need to like not. But anyway, so we are immediately introduced to Kingpin, and Kingpin has this lady in his life that he really digs for some reason, and like it's never really shown how they get to be a thing, because like their relationship seems to develop pretty fucking fast, if you ask me. I have no idea where it came from. It came way out of left field, but it also might have been like a thing in the Defenders or something. I don't know, because I know that Daredevil is in the Defenders too. So maybe it was part of that. I don't know. I don't really want to watch the Defenders. Like that's the one thing that I really genuinely hate about like the Marvel universe is everything is so interconnected. And it's like I know that I'm missing so much backstory on Daredevil because I haven't seen like these other things that the character Daredevil is in. But it's like, dude, Marvel, I'm busy. I have other things to do besides sit here and watch like 13 different Netflix original fucking Marvel series. You know what I mean? Also, I wonder how that's going to work out with like Disney owning Marvel now and having their own streaming service. I mean, they're Netflix originals. So they're going to stay on Netflix like they have to. But how's that going to work? Like is Disney going to start doing the Marvel like TV shows, or is that still going to be a Netflix thing? You know what I mean? I don't know. I want to know. Maybe I need to Google that. Fucking Disney, why do they own everything? Anyway, so yeah, Kingpin and the lady, like their whole relationship seems to be out of left field for me. It seems to have like developed super quickly for me, but again, maybe it developed in like the Defenders or something, and I wouldn't know. I don't know. Or is the Defenders like after? It might be after. They may just ignore it. Inquiring minds do need to know, Chrissy. They really do. Like, I need to know. I need to know how that's going to work. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, whatever. Anyway, so yeah. Moving on from that, because that was just a whole thing. Oh, also, Daredevil's apparently Catholic. Like, I don't know. Apparently, he's super devoutly Catholic if you fucking listen to Foggy, but also Foggy's name isn't Foggy, but I mean, it is like Foggy's, that's his nickname. But like, I don't even know his full name. I don't think they ever really refer to Foggy as anything besides Foggy. I know that his last name is Nelson because it's Nelson and Murdoch, attorneys at law, avocados at law. But yeah, I don't fucking. What is Foggy's first name? Like, I knew it because I Googled the character Foggy, and Foggy is in 39 out of 39 episodes of Daredevil, which is why I wasn't worried about Foggy. Yep, I think he is that way in the comics too. I think he is Catholic. Okay. Like the TV show, like it doesn't show him being super Catholic other than to like go talk to the priest or whatever, but like that's not even like a super Catholic thing. You know what I mean? I like okay, so I think confession is basically just a Catholic thing. Um I was raised going back and forth between a Baptist and a Methodist church on opposing weekends. So that's like a whole can of worms there. But like we didn't have confession or anything like that. So I think that is like a Catholic thing. But I mean, that doesn't really necessarily make him devout, but like Foggy did say something that like made it seem like he's more devout. It just doesn't really show it in the show. Holy shit, Chrissy, you were raised Catholic? Oh, wow. I don't even know how to respond to that. Not Catholic now. I shouldn't laugh, but like, yeah, I feel that. I feel that. You know, raised Christian, not Christian anymore. But yeah, my boyfriend's Catholic. Yep, went to Catholic church and all that. Wow. I went to Catholic church like 2 or 3 times in high school because my best friend, her entire family is Catholic. They're all Catholic vegetarians, which is awesome. But yeah, I went to church service with them a few times because I went over to my best friend's house like every single weekend, basically in high school. And so I ended up going to church with them a few times. That was a lot of movement. That was a lot of like standing up, kneeling, like getting back in the pews and like all that jazz. And like I was so weirded out by the fact that they had to earn communion. Like that is so weird. Like, I mean, I don't want to say it's weird, but like that's rare but awesome. Going to like a Catholic service, you mean, or the Catholic vegetarians? I talk very fast. I need to slow down. But yeah, that's a whole type of exercise routine. I was weirded out when I went to different Christian churches. Not rare as in vegetarian thing. Okay. Oh no rare as in vegetarian thing. Okay. Yeah, like they were the first vegetarians I actually met, which is well, the first open vegetarians. I knew a pescatarian after meeting them. Which I think it's even more rare for people to refer to themselves as pescatarians. I think they mostly still just call themselves vegetarians. But yeah, it was really interesting and mind opening, or not mind opening, but like eye opening to meet an entire family of vegetarians. Like that was just insane. And I wanted to be vegetarian for like as long as I could remember. And then I met them and I was like, holy shit, I actually could be vegetarian. That's really cool. And so yeah, my best friend's entire family is like part of why I became vegetarian, like overnight, like I did. But also it's because of Saw 3. But I mean, that's a whole story, and I just need to not. I need to stop going on tangents. I'm so sorry. But yeah. So where was I going with this? Okay. So yeah, I went into this not knowing anything at all about Daredevil, and now I'm just obsessed, and I just want to keep watching it, but I can't because I have to record videos. But yeah, I need to get like some thoughts out. So first, like big thing is like I'm really kind of irritated because the whole show, like for the first like 6 or 7 episodes, they were kind of like showing Karen and Foggy as like possibly being a thing, you know? And I was like, yes, I ship that. I armada that, you know what I mean? And now Foggy, like at the end of the first season, Foggy's like, oh yeah, I might be getting back together with my ex, Marcy, who's a soulless lawyer. And I'm just like, I mean, first of all, they're all lawyers except for Karen, who's like their secretary. But yeah, lawyers don't have souls. Like, I'm just saying, they don't. I'm just saying. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion thing. But yeah. So I really hate that Foggy is probably getting back together with Marcy because I want Karen and Foggy to be a thing, and I wanted Matt and Claire to be a thing. Claire being the nurse that like stitches Matt up. And it's just like it's so irritating because I guess Claire's gone now. She gone. Rosario Dawson is not having any of this bullshit anymore. And I'm just like, what? Why? Come back. Come back. And now they're like the very end of season one, like it shows like Karen and Matt kind of holding hands, and I'm like, okay, this is cute, but like I don't want to ship it, but like I will ship it, I guess. Like I'm not gonna be too mad about it, but like also at the same time, like okay, so the thing is that it's mostly like an internal conflict for me, right? Like most of my ships are gay. And if they're not gay, then they're just like two just offensively attractive people that I ship together, right? And so like the thing is that with Foggy not being my type, but me really loving Foggy, I really liked the feeling of like shipping him with Karen because Karen is the woman that played Jessica in True Blood, who very much is my type. Let's be real here. Like especially in True Blood, because I think in True Blood she's more of a redhead and she's just fucking adorable and just amazing. I love her. But like, I don't know, just shipping them made me happy. And like Foggy is so nerdy and like he's so cute with her and like whatever. But now they're like, oh no, you know, we spent like half a season building this up to be something, but now it's not gonna be anything, and now it's gonna be Karen and Matt. And I'm just like, okay, so is Matt ever gonna tell Karen that he's Daredevil? You know, that he saved her fucking life? Like, is that ever gonna come? Is that ever gonna come in? Is that ever going to come up in conversation? Because it should. I want to see that conversation. And then also the conversation where Matt's like, oh yeah, by the way, that's like why, you know, fucking Foggy broke up with me for like an episode and a half. You know, like I need to see that conversation. I'm just saying. But yeah, that was the thing. That's the whole thing. Um, I was getting emotional there at the end because of what happened with Ben Ulrich or whatever. The Ulrich. I want to say it's Ulrich, but I could be wrong. But anyway, the reporter that was helping Karen, because you know that just upset me. That upset me to no end. And then Karen, like, okay, so I know that Wesley's a bad guy, but like, dude, that sucks, dude. Like, I can't, dude, like Matt hears it in her voice. Like, he hears the distress in Karen's voice because she did that to Wesley. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm having, I'm having issues, guys. Like, I need to calm down, but I can't calm down. You know what I mean? I just can't calm down. And like, it took 13 fucking episodes for them to show us the Daredevil suit. 13 episodes for us to see the Daredevil suit finally. So like what I did was I was like building this up in my head to be like a huge thing, right? So I actually turned off my overhead light. I turned up the brightness on my laptop and I turned off like the light behind my laptop so that way I could see the suit better. And let's just say I'm not disappointed. I mean, you know, maybe vaguely, but not really. But anyway, like another thing as well with the show, like I don't think this would affect other people nearly as much as it does me, but I have this habit of watching shows with offensively attractive men and then having this weird, complicated emotion of like wanting to be them and also wanting to be with them or like not really understanding which one it is. You know what I mean? Because like especially when it comes to voices, like I get a lot of like voice dysphoria or vocal dysphoria, I guess, which is one of the reasons why I kind of hate going back and like having to caption my videos, but I need to get better at that. Anyway, so like I love Matt's voice. Like just saying that, you know, just putting that out there. I love Matt's voice. And I hate that I don't have a voice like that. You know what I mean? I mean, it's kind of like watching Supernatural because I really love like Jensen and Jared and Misha's voice. Like, I love all their voices. And obviously, I'm not going to have a voice like that literally ever. Like, I could probably take all the testosterone in the fucking world and my voice would never like be like that, you know? And that sucks. So I have this really complicated relationship with a lot of the shows I like where like I watch it and I enjoy it, but at the same time it causes like some level of emotional distress the whole time I'm watching it because I'm like dealing with like usually low-level dysphoria, although sometimes it can get pretty bad. Like The Resident, that can get pretty bad. Like fuck Conrad Hawkins, dude. Like no, no, I don't need that in my life. I mean, I do because I really love that show, and you should watch The Resident. But I also don't need that in my life. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm like not even talking about the fucking show at this point. I'm so sorry. But this is why I'm like doing a live video because like I need to get some idea of what I want to say in an actual video that I edit and shit. Oh my god. Also the fact that I have binge watched the entire like first season, which is 13 hours of footage over the past like 3 or 4 days, something like that. Like it's all just kind of blending together. Oh my god, his dad though. Can we talk about Matt's dad? We're gonna talk about his dad for a minute, okay? Oh my god. So the thing is that the show doesn't like expressly like say, I think, what was going on with Matt's dad, but like they had different cues or clues, I guess, that like clued me into like what was going on. But basically, Matt's dad was a boxer and he made a shit ton of money losing fights. Like he was getting paid off to throw these fights. And I can't remember if Matt said his dad only won one fight or if he only won two. I want to say he only won the one, but I could be mistaken. But basically, Matt, even after he lost his sight, like his dad was a boxer, and Matt would like stitch him up and everything, which was really cool and really interesting. And apparently Matt can see vaguely, like he can kind of see shapes, but like he sees a world on fire in his words. And we do get to see like through his eyes what he sees, and it really is a world on fire. Like shit looks like it's burning. Like that's intense, you know? And like I don't blame him for wearing fucking sunglasses all the time at that point. You know what I mean? That leads to questions though. That leads to questions. I have questions, but it's okay. But anyway, so his dad was getting paid to throw these fights, and Matt didn't want his dad to throw this one fight. I don't think he realized that his dad was throwing fights, but he really wanted his dad to win, you know, a fight. So his dad made this phone call and he got everything like set up and like he got money situated and everything for Matt, and he decided to win this fight so that way his son could hear people cheering for him for once. And as soon as he did that, as soon as I saw him doing that, like preparing all that, I was like, oh shit, oh no, like he's gonna die. Like this is how he dies. And yeah, that's how he dies. He fucking wins the fight. And then he gets taken out by like gangsters or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my god. And then Matt ends up in a Catholic orphanage. Which again, I mean, I guess that should be a clue that he's like devoutly Catholic, but again, the show doesn't really make it like appear that he's like devout, you know what I mean? But I digress. So he ends up in this Catholic orphanage, and these nuns or whatever. I have opinions about nuns, but whatever. Anyway, so the nuns that are like taking care of the kids, like one of them thinks that he's getting worse or whatever. So she calls this other like blind guy up and she's like, hey, can you help this kid? And that blind guy ends up being this character named Stick, which I think is also in the Defenders. I saw like a little bit of the trailer for the Defenders and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think that's Stick. But anyway, Stick teaches Matt how to like control everything. So like how to control his hearing and stuff like that. So he doesn't get like constant migraines or whatever. Because I would imagine that could be very painful, just hearing everything all at once, all the time. And Stick also teaches him how to fight, which is why Matt's a really good, you know, fighter, I guess. But yeah, that was a whole thing. And oh god, there was this one part, this one scene where like Matt was fighting with Stick as a kid, you know, like as like a 9-year-old or whatever. Matt was fighting with Stick, and he made a little bracelet thing for Stick out of the wrapper that goes around like ice cream cones or whatever when you buy ice cream cones. And Stick like grabbed it, or he handed it to Stick, and then Stick like squished it basically. And I'm just like, oh my god, you fucking asshole, dude! Like, why? why? And like, I guess his whole thing was like, you can't get attached to people when you do this because they just like cloud your reasoning and whatever. And it's like, okay, I get that, Stick. I do. But at the same time, he's 9 years old, dude. Just take the fucking bracelet, my guy. Dude, dude, dude. I work with kids, man. Do you know how often they want to give me shit that I don't care about? Like, I mean, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but like, I don't care about like little scribbles on a paper. You know what I mean? But like, a kid's gonna give it to me, and I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, dude, this is the coolest thing on the face of the planet. And then I'm gonna bring it home. And I'm gonna stick it on my fridge. You know, like a normal fucking well-adjusted adult. Even though I'm not well-adjusted at all, but that's a whole nother thing. Can we talk about how I'm not well-adjusted? Can we talk about that? Okay. So if you look at like the thumbnail for wow, I was gonna say Deadpool because my roommate's been calling Daredevil Deadpool, which fair enough, I guess. They both wear red and black suits and they both fight, but you know, whatever. Um anyway, so what the fuck was I going on about? I just like got lost in thought there for a minute because of Deadpool. That happens. That happens a lot. Uh let's see. My roommate calling him Deadpool. What was I saying? Oh my god. I need to get my shit together. I'm not even like can I okay, first I was talking about how I'm not well adjusted, right? Okay. So the thumbnail, one of the thumbnails, because the thumbnails like change on Netflix depending on like where you're looking at it, I guess. But one of the thumbnails for Netflix is literally just a picture of Matt Murdock dressed up as his like lawyer attire, you know. So he's wearing a suit and he's got sunglasses on, and I think his like tie is askew or whatever, like he was just fighting, and he's got like kind of a busted up lip or whatever. Like seeing that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I should have known from the get-go that I was gonna like this show then. Like, you know, because like that's just how that works, I guess. You don't watch 15 seasons of Supernatural and not, you know, you know, you know, you don't know, but you know, if you know, you know. Oh god. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I'm really not fine. Okay. So anyway, so Karen almost gets killed by these Union Allied guys. And Matt saves her life dressed up as the Mask or whatever, which they were calling the devil of Hell's Kitchen. Because Hell's Kitchen, I guess, is a specific part of New York that they live in, which is just, is that really a thing? Like, is that really a thing? You know? I'm, I don't know. Is it? Because, like, Hell's Kitchen is a TV show guy, you know, with Gordon Ramsay. But whatever. So anyway, he was the devils of hell. He was the devil of Hell's Kitchen. And so he saved Karen, but Karen doesn't know it's him. So there's that whole thing going on. And he got found in a dumpster after being like beat half to death or whatever by Claire, who then patched him up. And while he was in her apartment, like Fisk's guys like go through the entire building trying to find him. And she hid him from them, but they knew she was lying. So then Matt had to like save her life more than once because I think he saved it more than once. And then yeah, so he brings her back to his apartment, and this is like 3 or 4 episodes in, maybe not even that far in, probably. But like, so he brings her back to his apartment, and like, you know, they're talking or whatever about like her job and whatnot, and like you see her through his eyes, which is obviously just a woman on fire essentially, and then like he lets her sleep in his bed, which she didn't want to do because she didn't want to like oust him from his own bed, you know. But he was like, well, based on what people have told me about my living room, you kind of got to sleep in my bed. And then like it shows her looking out the window, and he's got this like huge fucking billboard that's like super lit up. Oh my god, my coffin's not, dude, what the fuck. That's embarrassing. That's just embarrassing. 40 minutes in. Wow. Okay. That's embarrassing. But anyway, so yeah, she sleeps in his room, and then the next episode opens, I think, with her like getting out of the shower and whatnot, and walking out into the kitchen slash living room area. And because his apartment is basically an open floor plan, and like I don't know, they're talking, and then they finally have a kiss, and like I was screaming and so excited when that happened. And she was like, I was wondering if you were gonna do that or whatever. And he was like, well, I've been kind of busy. And I'm just like, ah, like the whole time oh my god, I was loving it. I was loving that. I'm still loving that. I love it. Anyway, so she leaves, whatever, or no, he leaves because he's got to go to work because he's a lawyer, and he tells her as much, and he tells her that she should stay with him. Oh, nope. Okay, I fucked up. So they're talking, and he's like, "Hey, you should stay here so that way I can protect you because these people are gonna try to find you later or whatever." And she was like, "Well, that's one way to get a girl to move in." And he was like, "Well, did it work or some shit like that? I don't even know. Go through my fucking Twitter threads, guy, because live tweeting it the whole time." And then that was when he kisses her, and she's like, I was wondering if you were gonna do that. And he was like, well, I've been busy, and like that kind of shit. And like it's just very cute. It's very cute. And Foggy and Karen at one point get like stumbling kind of drunk at like this bar that Foggy and Matt, I guess, like frequent or whatever. And then they end up at Matt's house, and like, they're yelling at him through the door, but Matt's not even there because he's beating the shit out of bad guys, right? And like it's just very cute. That's a very cute scene. I love it. I love this show. I just really love this show, okay? But like I can't get over Vincent D'Onofrio being a bad guy. Like I can't remember exactly what his character was in Law and Order. Like I can't remember if his character was a lawyer or if it was a fucking cop. I don't know. Propaganda. You know what I mean? Whatever. So I can't remember what his character was, but it's just a mind fuck watching Vincent D'Onofrio being a bad guy. Like, whatever, dude. Um, but yeah. So getting farther into it, uh, basically it ends with Kingpin, who still hasn't been named Kingpin in the show, by the way. I mentioned that earlier, but whatever. He's not called Kingpin in the show. I just know he's Kingpin because I Googled it, because I needed to know it's Vincent D'Onofrio. And the show basically ends, like the season ends with him like being caught, and like he's in FBI custody, and he's being like moved somewhere else, which is like I don't know how realistic it was, like them showing him being transferred or anything, because like they had, I want to say he was in a marked vehicle for one, and there were like several cop cars surrounding him with their lights on and shit, and I don't know how realistic that is. But I mean, I'm not a fucking FBI agent, so whatever. But anyway, yeah, it shows him being transferred. And basically, he's got people in the FBI, of course, like we all saw this coming. And so they get him out of there. And then he's escaping in this other vehicle that's actually unmarked. And like, well, it's not unmarked, but it's like some kind of furniture store truck. So, like, very subtle or whatever. So he's in there. And obviously, Matt with his super hearing and his red suit, like fucking 13 episodes in, he finally gets it. Oh my God. Speaking of, he gets it from this character named Melvin, right? And like, I saw Melvin and I was freaking like I was freaking out because I was like, I swear to God, if anything happens to Melvin or this Betsy woman that Melvin is mentioning, I will cry. I will riot in the streets. I will destroy everything that these writers love. And so far, Melvin and Betsy are okay. And my boyfriend Googled it, and he said that according to the wiki, they're both alive. But I don't know if I can trust him. But I'm going to try to trust him. But anyway, I love Melvin. And yeah. So, well, okay. Let's talk about Melvin for a minute. Okay. So Melvin, he does the lining of Kingpin's suits. God damn it. I knew that was going to happen. Melvin does the lining of Kingpin's suits. So that was how Matt found him, because he slashed one of Kingpin's suits and he noticed that like Kingpin didn't get injured by it. You know, his suit just got ripped, and he was like, "Holy shit! I need to figure out who does this." So he like tracks down this random dude, and he was like, "Who does the suits or whatever for Kingpin?" And he was like, "This dude named Melvin." So he goes to Melvin. He breaks into Melvin's like thing, you know, his workshop or whatever. And Melvin's freaking out, you know, and he's like trying to kill him or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, like, no, don't do this. Like, why is this happening? And then Melvin's like, well, you know, he's gonna be pissed because you're here, and like I like he's gonna hurt Betsy. And that's when Matt's like, who the fuck is Betsy? And he's like, well, Betsy's this woman, she's really nice. She helps me when I get confused. And the way that Melvin is talking, like you can tell that he's kind of like he's kind of slow, I guess. Like I don't know how else to phrase it. Um so like already, like I don't want anything to happen to Melvin, dude. Like not a goddamn thing. And I don't know who this Betsy is, but I don't want anything to happen to her either. So yeah. Um anyway, so he gets to Super Melvin in the 13th episode, tracks down the vehicle that Kingpin is in, and he throws something through like the windshield of the truck, and that causes the truck to like flip because the dude in the front seat. I don't know what happened to them. I'm assuming they died because the way that the truck like crashed. But like the truck ends up flipping over, and Kingpin gets out, and they're like just duking it out, right? And Kingpin's actually really good at fighting. Talking about fighting though, the fight choreography in the show is fucking astounding. Like there's like watching it, obviously I know that, you know, Matt's gonna end up fine. There's 3 seasons of this and I'm only in season 1. So like I knew that Matt was gonna be okay. But like the fight scenes were choreographed so fucking well and they were just so believable. And you could see like the strain and the stress in the characters, and it was just so good. Like it's top notch. Like that's incredible. I need to know who the fight choreographer is. I need to know this. I also need to know who the stunt double is for Daredevil. Can we just? I need to know who the stunt double is. I need their digits for science. It's for scientific reasons. Can someone hook me up? Help a brother out. But anyway, so he's duking it out with Kingpin, and he ends up like getting Kingpin on the floor or whatever, and he punches him, and Kingpin's knocked out, and then this cop pulls up, and you know there Matt is standing in his costume, and the cop's like, "Holy shit, it's you!" And he's like, "Well, I told you I'm not like the bad guy. I told you I'm the good guy." And the cop lets him go, which is really fucking cool. And then Kingpin is, you know, obviously in custody again, and this time he actually stays in custody thus far. Anyway, I guess we'll see what happens in season 2. But that's like a very brief, very well, not even brief because it's been 47 minutes. But that's like just a very broad overview of what happened in season 1 of Daredevil. And basically, all I have to say is it's fucking excellent, and you need to watch it. And I need people to talk to me about it because I'm losing my shit over here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to like finish drinking this, I guess. It's a little cocktail thing. I don't fucking know. Get some juice in here, I guess. And I'm actually gonna batch record a few videos because my roommate's out for the night because she's celebrating St. Patty's Day. But yeah, I don't know why there's 3 of you here watching this, but thanks, I guess. I hope you found it slightly entertaining. I don't fucking know. Um, you know, be safe, wear your mask, all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next video. It is Sunday morning now. Okay. Oh my God, you haven't seen it yet? Dude, 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 you haven't seen it? Dude, Chrissy, wait, you haven't seen it yet? You've been listening to me talk. No, dude, I've been talking spoilers this whole time and you haven't even seen it? Oh my God. Chrissy, what the fuck? Oh my God. What the fuck? Okay, it's good. I didn't spoil everything, I promise. Basically everything, but not everything, you know? I mean, whatever. Yeah. All right. Spoilers do nothing to me. Oh, good. All right, then I'm gonna spoil the shit out of Supernatural for you. Like, you should still watch Supernatural, Coming from somebody that fucking hate watches the show at this point, you should still watch Supernatural, but I'll spoil the shit out of it for you. But yeah, I'll still watch it. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Good night, Chrissy. Have fun doing your recording. Deuces.